Hello everyone, my name is Shiva Babazadeh Namini. I am a PhD student in architecture at Istanbul Okan University. I hold my bachelor in architecture engineering and master's degree in urban design, which form my foundation of my academic background. In addition, I have over 15 years experience of professional experience in architecture and design and working internationally in the UAE, Dubai, Iran, and Turkey. Today, I would like to briefly present and discuss about integrated ecological settlement system applying the ETURE model to urban sustainability, which is we are going to talk about this topic and briefly I will explain. So the ETURE model, which I'm going to discuss in this presentation, the ETURE ecological design model, we are going to talk about it, integrated ecological settlement framework, and comparative the ETURE framework evaluation. The case study is Master City, which is in Abu Dhabi, Ronsburg district, and Wuban district. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about the integrated ecological planning, which is significantly enhances urban resilience and resource efficiency and socio-ecological sustainability, aligning renewable energy production, circular material flows, and smart mobility infrastructure within a single planning system. The result of integrated ecological planning, which is the settlements, can reduce environmental impact while improving local governance and community participations. The conclusion that is the ETURE framework provides a scalable model for sustainable urban transformation, particularly sustainable for engineering ecological settlements and regenerative urban districts. In a contemporary era, urban settlement related to energy consumptions, water scarcity, security, and waste accumulation, and unsustainable mobility patterns. Traditionally, planning approaches often treat these systems as independent infrastructures, resulting in fragmented resource management and limit environmental performance. Energy systems are designed independently from water infrastructures, food systems remain external to urban environments and based in threats as a disposal problem rather than the recoverable resources. The ecological design and planning model, known as a ETURE, propose a holistic framework integrating ecological cycles, resource efficiency, and participatory governance um, in settlement planning. So the ETURE framework, it depends on the five primary domains. First, energy, water, food, waste, and mobility. Synthesis of the theoretical principles. It's going to talk about the renewable energy system, closed loops, water cycles, local food production, circular waste management, and zero emission transportation networks, which is the methodologically employs a qualitative analytical approach combining the literature review, system integration analysis, and conceptual planning models. As all we know, cities currently account for more than 70% of global energy consumptions and greenhouse gas emissions. At the same time, waste generation and transportation demands continue to expand, critiquing the scientific and ecological pressure on natural systems. As all we knows nowadays, the zero energy and these five primary demands is really important for the sustainability eras, let's say. So the ETURE ecological design and planning model, which is developed by Professor Demet and Semi Urildis in 2022, which is my professor. I'm really glad to have this opportunity from his side to present my the ETURE model according to my research. The model emphasized ecological balance, circular system, human-centered settlement design. And the purpose of this model is sustainable settlement functions as integrated ecological system where energy, water, food, waste, and mobility operate interconnected cycle rather than isolated infrastructures. The integration produces, which is going to reduction in total resource consumptions and minimization of waste outputs, increased resilience to environmental and economic shocks. So the perspective aligns with global sustainability frameworks such as United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, particularly goals related to sustainable cities, about the sustainable cities, I mean clean energy and responsible consumptions. So the ETURE model incorporate the nukes approaches by promoting the renewable energy system, which is solar, wind, and so on, water efficient agriculture techniques, which is drip irrigation, irrigations, and the actually hydroponics, this new system of the water efficiency agriculture. So and energy efficient water treatment technologies. The integrated next space, the planning can significantly reduce the resources consumption while maintaining system performance. In ecological settlements, agro-photovoltaic system represent a practical example of this integration. So this is the key point of this study and research. The theoretical model contribute according to these four demands. So circular metabolism in the city, regenerative urban design, low carbon settlement planning, nature-based infrastructure systems, which is all these models aim to reduce ecological footprint while enhancing urban resilience within this field. I mean, the ETURE model present the a structured planning framework emphasizing ecological balance, local resource cycle, and integrated environmental system. So the ETURE model ecological design as a design model. So according to the work of Demet and Semi Elris, so the ecological settlements should be organized around several core principles, which is mentioned first, ecological balance between built and natural environments. Second of all, efficient resource cycles. Third, local energy production. And the fourth one, which is community participation in planning. And the fifth one, which is integration of environmental infrastructures. The framework, the ETURE framework purpose is talking about the urban system that should mimic natural ecosystem, where output from one process become input to another. So, for example, the organic waste become agricultural fertilizer, rainwater becomes irrigation water, renewable energy support building system and mobility network. So the ETURE ecological design model is integrated settlement strategy analysis according to the five important systems, as I mentioned before: energy, water, food, waste, and mobility. The energy, renewable, when we are talking about the energy, which is the first primary demand, we are talking about the renewable energy production from the foundation of ecological settlements, including solar photovoltaics and wind energy, which is including the high thermal insulation, natural ventilation, and daylight optimization significantly reduce energy demands before renewable energy production in considered. So within the ETURE framework, energy system should function as local energy ecosystem, minimizing dependency on external energy networks. So this is a key important things according to the energy demands. As we talk about the agricultural system, how we can see in this diagram, I wanted to explain about the how agrivoltaic works in during these periods of the time. So, as we can see here, the partial shading, dual use of the land, and elevating solar panels, which is these critical important things according to use these agrivoltaics. This is the new system as a solar panels which is installed formally and usually elevated on level of one level of up. So it means that, for example, for the shade of the cars, for the shading of the farms, those stuff, they are starting to use these what you call it, photovoltaic panels. At the same time, it's a partial shading, which is helps the products, crops, and also the external heats. Those things will be reduced for the farm itself and the product itself, and it is a dual use of the land, like at the same time, which is we are using as a farm animals and those. So in the top we are using this kind of generation according to gain the electricity, gain the sun direction, and produce the energy of the electricity. So and at the same time we could use it. So this is the good point. And the other part, which is we are elevated the solar panels, which is mounted in a high structure to let the sunlight and the rain reach as much as it can. So this setup enable farms to grow crops and generate electricity at the same time which the product is going to use and the animal are moving around. So in the farm, this is the critical points according to these agrivoltaic works. Uh, the next one, which is we are talking about the water, which is the water management in ecological settlements, follows a critical model based on natural hydrological cycle. The key strategy includes the rainwater harvesting, greywater recycling, natural wastewater treatment system, and decentralize the water infrastructure. These systems reduce reliance on centralized water networks while increasing local resilience to water scarcity. So, when we are going to talk about the food, it means that the local food production is an essential component of the ecological settlements, the urban agriculture strategies, which is include the rooftop farming, community gardens, hydroponic vertical farms, and also the indoor agricultural system. So we have different level. As you can see in the picture, this is the one of the project, which is the community garden project, which is, as you can see, how it works, the shading part, the greenery areas, the patterns, and those stuff, which is providing all together. So when we are going to talk about the next one, which is about the waste, it means the waste management in ecological planning shifts from disposal towards circular material flows strategies, which is include the strategy, which is includes, the source, separations, compost production, material recycling, and biogas generation, which is are important in the waste, demand. So this system transform the waste into energy and agricultural resource. Waste management present one of the most visible failure of linear urban system that we supposed to know about it. This is the keynote of waste demands. So the ETURE model reframes waste as a resource stream consistent with circular economy principles, which is this approach involves the source separation of the waste material, biological treatment of organic waste, recycling of materials such as metal, plastics, and glass, and so on, and energy recovery through biogas production. Studies indicated that integrated waste management system can reduce landfill waste by up to 90% while generating renewable energy and agricultural inputs. So this is really important, and it's a key word of the waste, which is that we have to uh, work on these demands. So when we are going to talk about the mobility, last but not least, the sustainable mobility aims to minimize the carbon emissions and reduce reliance on private vehicles, which is priority is given to pedestrian networks, bicycle infrastructures, shared electrical vehicles, renewable energy public transportation, which is the public transportation is not only about the one which is, as you can see, the electrical work cars and buses and those stuff. It's also about the technology of the ferry boats that nowadays is working in the local centralized country or cities that it's aligned with the coastal lines, so that the river itself they have, or maybe they have kind of a seaside. So it's really important the mobility, which is according to the public transportation and the location and the context of the place. So the smart mobility technologies such as intelligent transportation system, which is improve efficiency and reduce congestion, congestion. Sorry. So mobility systems are often treated as a separate from ecological planning, yet they significantly influence energy consumptions, land use, and environmental quality. The ETURE framework integrated mobility into ecological settlement design by prioritizing the walkability and human scale urban design, bicycle infrastructure, shaded mobility system, electrification of public transportation, which is all is talking about this mobility side of the demand. Transit oriented development, which is written always as a TOD, as a strategy of nowadays we are talking about this a lot in the city settlements and urban design. Further support this integration by reducing travel distance and promoting compact urban forms. So it's that culture of talking about is transit-oriented developments strategy. So in 1993. And now we are talking about it and we are emphasizing and we are still working on this. This is the example of the design in Konya bicycle transportation, which is it's a master plan that you can see in this project, and it's a path corridor which is in Turkey, Konya. It's one of the city of Turkey. This is another project which is at the same time the mobility shows itself how it works. That, as I said, the ferry boats, which is including the how to use the smart ferry boats that is not producing any pollutions. Bicycles, which is now It's really useful around the world, and the pedestrianism and walkability areas, that it's really important at the same time. So all of them together is a mobility demand. As you can see, the ETURE model provides a planning methodology capable of coordinating this system within a single ecological framework. Like as you can see in this circular resource loop, which is energy, water, food, waste, mobility, which is all together is working, and it's bringing while we are using all of them together, and this circulation is works. So after that, in conclusion, we can say that this city or these settlements can have the sustainability, can have the framework of ETURE model, as we are talking about this model. So this is really important, and all of them together should work. And it's a circular resource, actually. It's a loop which is moving and moving. In this particular slide that I'm going to talk about the integrated ecological settlement framework, as you can see, the renewable energy system, how it works, and after that, which is step by step, the ecological settlement system, which is the ETURE model that we are going to discuss. The ETURE model, what is talking about? It's about the energy, water, food, waste, mobility, and at the same time, the circular resource metabolism, which is exactly the same. It's talking about the energy, water, food, waste, and mobility, which is all it's according to the circular models, as we discussed in the previous slide. So the sustainable and resilient settlements, that reducing the low carbon, resource efficiency, and social ecology. In this slide, we are going to talk about the case study, which is we are going to talk about the Master City, uh, Kreuzberg district, and Woben district, which is really important in ecological settlements. It's the most important examples in the world. So Master City is, these are the three most important, but maybe we have more, but I'm just going to talk about these three according to my research. And I compared those three together according to the ETURE model framework. So the Master City, which is initiated in 2006 in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, in United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, which is was conceived as a zero carbon or zero waste urban development driven by renewable energy and advanced technologies. And it was starting in 2006, and the launch was in 2008. The concept is a planned zero carbon, zero waste city driven by advanced technology, solar energy, automate mobility, high performance urban form. So Master City is a top down technology lead ecological experiment. It integrates renewable energy, large photovoltaic fields, which is really important for them. It's a high key important things that it's showing off in in Master City. The passive urban design, the narrow streets, shading streets, and wind towers, and also the attempts at low emissions mobility. So these are really critical points of this project. When we are going to talk about the Kreuzberg district, which is developed during the 1990s as Expo 2000 in Hanover, represent a large-scale ecological urban extensions focused on energy efficiency, housing, environmental planning, and social sustainability. It is widely recognized as a benchmark for sustainable urban design, integrating ecological principles into urban form and infrastructures, which is first it was developed in 1990s, then it was Expo of 2000, and the location is in Germany, Hanover, and the concept itself, it's about a large scale ecological district focused on energy efficiencies, social housing, and environmental planning integration. The Carlsberg represents a policy driven ecological settlement with emphasis on low energy buildings, waste, water sensitive planning, and green infrastructure. It integrates energy efficiency, low energy housing, stormwater management, and landscape ecology. Women's district, it's another case that I'm studying according to my research. It's developed between 1990s and 2000 in Freiburg, um, Germany, which is one of the most successful example of a sustainable community-driven ecological district built on a former military site. The project integrates participatory planning, low energy housing, and car-free urban design. The district accommodates approximately 5,000 residents and emphasizing social cohesion and environmental responsibility. So, as I said, it's in Germany. So the concept itself is a community-driven ecological district emphasizing low carbon living, social participation, and car-free urbanism. Women is the closest to the is the closest project that we can say it's near to the ETURE philosophy in terms of bottom-up governance and system integration. It combines plus energy housing, renewable energy systems, sustainable mobility, car-free planning, and strong social participation. This is the diagram that I mentioned here as a mapping the three ecological settlements onto the ETURE system. When we are going to talk about each city, cases that we are that I try to explain with this diagram, the ETURE system, how it works according to the energy, water, food, waste, and mobility. Uh, I analyze it, all of them, and I reach to this kind of diagram, which is mentioned with the different legends of color, as you can see. And I just number for each of them in a low, high, and actually the sources high, it means the 5-bit is high, the moderate it's 3, and the low is 1, and very low it will be the 0. So according to the number that I given, so this what I reached originally. In Mastar City, I reached from 25, I reached to 11, as you can see. And in Hanover, I reached from 25 to 13. And in Wuban district, I reached to 17 according to the 25, which is a total. So the best one is Wuban district, according to my research study. At the conclusion part, the ETURE ecological design and planning model offers a comprehensive framework for archiving or this transformation by integrating the renewable energy system, circular water management, local food production, waste recovery, and sustainable mobility networks. Settlements can significantly reduce environmental impact while strengthening social economic resilience. So the ETURE-based integrated ecological settlement strategy represents a valuable and scalable and approach to sustainable urban development by transforming settlements into self-sufficient, adaptive, and resource-efficient system. This model provides a pathway towards achieving the ecological balance, reducing the environmental impact, and improving quality of life in urban environment. this comprehensive, within these cases that I study about, the ETURE model advanced beyond existing practices by proposing a fully interconnected ecological system where environmental, social, and infrastructural dimensions are integrated positioning. It is a necessary evolution for future resilience settlements design. So that's really important that we are going to talk about while I'm going to talk about this ETURE model as a framework that each cases that we are going to study, we need to analyze about each case according to the ETURE model. So this is the conclusion that I reached to it. And thank you for your attention up to here, that you listened to my voice and my presentation. I really would like to express my sincere gratitude to Professor Dr. Semi. So for giving me this valuable opportunity to present my work here. And thank you for very much for from everyone for your attention. For more information or further questions, you can just be in touch according to my email address and YouTube channel. Thank you.